what we do sometimes that matters. It's what we do most of the time that matters. So, as we go through this, one of the things that I tell my patients is, yeah, you should moderate your diet. That doesn't mean don't ever eat chocolate cake, right? So it's not what we do sometimes that matters. It's really what we do most of the time that matters. So that's kind of the way I'm going to go with this today. A lot of people will come to me and say, I took my child off of sugar, and I took my child off of soy, and I took my child off of corn, and I did all the things, and they're still bouncing off of the walls. So, we have to ask, well, maybe could it be something deeper than that? And I have an inkling that it is. So here's what's happening. There's this buzzword of the day is GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. And it's not something I want to throw on another thing onto somebody's plate to be careful of. But the truth of it is what's happening in these laboratories now, we have scientists that are taking the genetic material of one organism and they're combining it with the genetic material of another organism. Now, it sounds like a great idea when you can grow more food, prevent frost, dying in frost. But the truth of it is what's really happening is we're crossing species boundaries. So you would never see a tomato creating babies with a fish, and these are the kinds of things that are actually happening. They are crossbreeding species that are not crossbreeding in nature. So when we do that, we create new proteins, and we create things we probably don't even know we're creating. And so with these new proteins that are going into the children's diets, this is genetic material that the body doesn't really know what to do with it, all right? So what started off to appear like some process that could enhance nutrition of food, it's really not enhancing the nutrition of the food. There's not that I'm aware of, there's not one research article out there that says, yes, genetically modifying organisms increases the nutritional density of food. Not one.
If I may interrupt, I don't want to do this much, but I believe, if I remember correctly, one of my research, and I'm sure you've run across this too, it actually decreases. It's actually less nutrient dense.
Yes.
So it's actually having the opposite effect. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. It is having the opposite effect. So what it is happening with genetically modified foods is that food that is genetically modified can withstand and endure more herbicides, so weed killer. The specific weed killer that a lot of farmers use is called Roundup. And now they actually even make seeds that are called Roundup Ready seeds. So these seeds, you put them in the ground and you can spray them all with Roundup as much as you want, pretty much, evidently, and the plant will still grow. So it won't be killed by the weed killer. So not only are you getting a genetically modified seed in the food, you're also getting more pesticides, all right? There's another type of genetically modified organism that's called Bt toxin. Now, Bt toxin is in corn mostly, and basically what Bt toxin is it creates a plant that will create its own pesticide. So when a bug comes and eats it, the bug dies. Now, how that happens is the bug eats the plant. And by the way, when Bt toxin was produced in a corn plant, the corn plant became, the FDA deemed it a pesticide. It is a registered pesticide. So if you are eating GMO corn, you're eating a registered pesticide. That blows my mind.
And isn't 90% of the corn supply GMO?
Yeah, right up there. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but
it's pretty high.
It is pretty high. So what Bt toxin does, and you'll find it in practically everything you eat. If it's packaged, it likely has corn in it. Corn's found in so many things we don't even know. It's in sorbitol, so if you're taking, if you have a corn allergy, you can't even use toothpaste that has sorbitol in it. It's on the wax coating on some vegetables. Yeah, so it's pretty substantial how much corn is out there. But what happens is when the bug eats the corn that has the Bt toxin protein, then the Bt toxin causes proliferation, or it causes pores or holes to happen into the gut lining, and the bug dies. And of course, the FDA says that this only happens in bugs; it doesn't happen in humans. Yeah, there's actually some peer-reviewed studies that have been done recently that are proving otherwise. So that being said, imagine feeding your kid food over and over and over again that's causing these micro tears and holes in their intestinal tract. So it doesn't come down to let's just give them more vitamins and take them off sugar, because what we've created over this past 20 years is systems that are so inflamed and so dysfunctional that just simply taking people off of gluten or one or two little foods isn't going to matter. We have to actually rehab and heal the gut lining and put good bacteria back in the gut, and then eliminate the allergies and the sensitivities, and then have the person begin eating foods again that they should be able to eat anyway.